So NCCT is to be formed on the 20th, or the election is going to happen on the 20th, and when are the results going to be announced?
So the election happens on the 20th. Polls are open till 9 p.m. Ideally, we'd love to have results shortly after that, but again, if we do have results, it'll be the unofficial results at that point, and after the voting company has figured out all the...
So once again, it's going to be a non-Tamil,
exactly.
non-biased...
Yes.
Election commissioner and election body there that will run the election altogether. And they will monitor, they will watch, they will take care of everything, and if there is anything that has to be addressed, they will take care of that as well. As Anita said, if everything goes as expected, then end of the day after 9 o'clock, shortly after 9, anytime, there will be an announcement, official one. Otherwise, there will be an unofficial announcement, but still, if there have to be things that needs to be addressed, then there may be a short delay.
Because this election, again, there's candidates contesting against each other, so the scrutineers are involved. There's a lot of other, not like the referendum where it was a simple yes or no and we got the results in. This would involve a little bit more logistical, just to get all the results called into the war room that day.
Okay, so how many candidates do we have so far for contesting?
So at the national level, we have different groups, right? So there's the general group and the women's group and there's the youths. So we have competition at the general. So initially there was 5 spots and we have 6 people running. And at the women's level, there was initially 2 spots and we've already have 2 women running for those. So it's not like people have to vote, but they've already been confirmed. But you can just vote to enhance their success or to endorse them. And then at the youths, for the youths, there is initially 2 spots and there's 4 youths running. So this is just at the national level. And at the provincial level, there's also the same thing, general, women, and youths. And at the general level, there's initially, how many? 4?
4 slots.
4 slots, and I think there's
there are 5
running. And again, there's 2 slots, and there's already 2 women that have been confirmed. And there are 2 slots for the youths, and there's 4 youths that are running. So competition is with the general and the youths at both the national and the provincial level.
Mm-hmm. How about the regional?
Regional, so there's Toronto East, Toronto West, the Peel region, and York region. So this is where Tamils are thickly populated. So it's not all the regions. So where Tamils live mostly. And there's only competition at the Toronto East. So initially there were 7 slots, and there are 8 candidates running. And all the rest regions have been confirmed,
Okay, so confirmed because we didn't have more candidates
willing to submit their nominations.
Yeah, the number of nominations are the number of candidates that are expected all over. Mm-hmm. In that case, an election is not necessary there because they are already within that number. If we need 7 people and 7 people are already contesting, or 6 are contesting, then they are all automatically elected. Mm-hmm. So it is, in one way, it is generally the democratic process, where if it is higher than the number expected nominated, then there should be an election. On the other side also, to cut cost, it's an unnecessary expense there. If there are 7 people contesting and people are going to elect all those 7 people, then there's no point in having an election.
It would be pointless to have an election if there are
exactly. So it's also a cost-cutting process there.
Okay, so in reality, when election happens, people aren't going to be voting for all 51 people now. No.
They'll be voting at the national and provincial levels, and if they live in the Toronto East area, then they'll be electing their regional council. The Toronto East folks will be electing. They're the only ones that would be electing at all 3 levels, the Toronto East folks, but everyone else would be electing at the national and provincial levels.
Okay, so the national and provincial are the ones that are going to happen across the country.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, and when you say provincial, would someone in Vancouver elect someone in Toronto?
No, it would Ontario. There would be elections in the provincial level. Only Ontario folks would vote, and then the East and West. There are 2 different ballots for them as well. But everyone will be voting for the national. Okay. At the provincial, it'll change in the 3 regions.
Okay, so national is the one that's going to be everyone's
exactly.
vote across the country,
Mm-hmm.
Newfoundland to Vancouver, wherever there are people get to vote, I suppose.
Yeah,
the national, regional borders apply to this. There are no special borders or outlines or Canada-wide, then provincial-wide, then regional-wide. So it's all the divisions that are already there in place. That's going to apply.
Okay. Now a quick question. Now the regional part. I know the reasoning behind why it is in the GTA or Southern Ontario region. Wouldn't that be kind of unfair to someone in Montreal who doesn't get a fair representation?
Montreal also has a region. One of the regions are in that area. Once the council is elected, there's going to be regional councils in Durham or in London or Barrie, wherever there's Tamils residing. They'll be the ones to take that initiative and create that council within at that regional level. And again, this is the NCCT. This is the first preliminary. So getting that up and running in the major regions to start with, and then of course expanding as time goes.
Okay, so what this council is going to do is yet to be ironed out, and
well, what the council is going to do is of course, a lot has to be ratified. The Constitution needs to be ratified by the board that's elected and whatnot. But in terms of what our expectations as just citizens expecting what we're going to expect what we can expect of these elected representatives are that they would be representing us, whether it's be the voices that would go and talk to politicians if there's a meeting. Here's our elected body of Tamils that are the voice of the Tamil community here. That's why it's very important that we're having elections at the national level. To make sure that that representation is an elected body. And then again, at the local levels, related to community centers or our community center for our Tamil community, things that we have been waiting for a very long time. We're hoping this body will be the ones to kind of work on educational Tamil school related issues or at this cultural center, community center type of issues. And just, who's going to book Queen's Park? Things like that. Very small.
Who's going to book Queen's Park? We're going to be going to Queen's Park for a very long time.
Yeah, like very small things.
Small
things. There's so many things that who's going to run these events that happen in our community? And this would be a very transparent and open process where we can connect with, the Toronto Police and say, hey, I'm the police spokesperson. I'm running this event. Well, the community, for the community. This is the body that's running this. This is the body that's doing this, or that kind of trying to bring some sort of structure or some sort of democratically elected structure into place. And again, NCCT has been endorsed by several organizations in the community, in the Tamil community, and mainstream as well. So those endorsements keep coming in for such a council. If you notice, there's other ethnic communities that have these councils. The Greek community actually goes out to a full-out contested election, like how we're doing it. So this is going to be a first of its kind, but again, it's a much-needed step for our community. And we have a lot of great leaders in the community, but again, we want to be able to. Those are the people that need to be democratically elected and moving forward, be that voice. And again, it's up to the community to hold these people accountable for some of the things that the community wants to do. But basically, this committee, this council will provide services, giving back to the Tamil community in some way as well. And again, it has to be fleshed out by the elected body. But again, this is the overall concept, is having these structures and protecting our identity, as Quintessina said, protecting our identity and our values here in Canada, and trying to be that voice and vocalize it through one central place. And obviously, bring up all the other organizations that are working closely with this. And in return, one last thing about TGTE, this process is just meant to strengthen both. That's at the international level, and this is at the Canadian level, here at the local in our country. So working together with both bodies and making sure that this would complement TGT and the Global Tamil Forum as well.
All right, there's a lot to know about NCCT, and there's a lot they have to talk about that as well. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll find out how the voting is going to happen and how you can get involved and do your part. If you need to find more information about this election, you can check out the website, National
Tamil Elections.
TamilElections.ca. TamilElections.ca. Check that out while we go for a commercial break. We'll be right back.